In the dead of night, on January 3, 2026, the skies over Venezuela erupted in fire. American fighter jets streaked across the horizon, unleashing precision strikes on military targets in Caracas and beyond. Venezuela, a nation blessed with the world's largest proven oil reserves, has long been a flashpoint in global politics. Once South America's richest country, it descended into chaos under the socialist regimes of Hugo Chavez and his successor, Nicolas Maduro. Hyperinflation, food shortages, and political repression drove millions to flee. That Maduro's government had transformed Venezuela into a narco-state. The United States, under President Donald Trump in his second term, viewed this as a direct threat to American security. By 2024, Venezuela's presidential election became the catalyst. The National Electoral Council declared Maduro the winner, but opposition leaders claimed fraud, asserting that Edmundo Gonzalez had secured the majority. Gonzalez fled to Spain amid arrest warrants, leaving Maduro entrenched. The U.S. responded by designating groups like the Cartel of the Suns, allegedly led by Maduro himself, as foreign terrorist organizations. To understand the strikes, we must rewind to the roots of Venezuela's turmoil. In 1999, Hugo Chavez rose to power on promises of social equality, funded by vast oil wealth. His Bolivarian revolution nationalized industries, redistributed land, and challenged U.S. influence in Latin America. But as oil prices plummeted in the 2010s, the economy crumbled. Maduro, taking over in 2013 after Chavez's death, faced accusations of authoritarianism. Elections were marred by irregularities, opposition leaders imprisoned, and media censored. The U.S. imposed sanctions starting in 2017, targeting Maduro's inner circle for human rights abuses and corruption. By 2019, the Trump administration recognized opposition leader Juan Guaidó as interim president, but Maduro clung to power with support from Russia, China, and Cuba. The 2024 election was the breaking point. Independent observers reported widespread fraud, including ballot stuffing and voter intimidation. Maduro's victory sparked protests, met with brutal crackdowns. Over 2,000 were arrested. Meanwhile, drug trafficking allegations mounted. The Cartel of the Suns, composed of high-ranking military officials, was accused of smuggling cocaine through Venezuela to the U.S. and Europe. Tren de Aragua, a Venezuelan gang, expanded into the U.S., committing crimes in cities like New York and Chicago. The DEA estimated that 200 to 300 tons of cocaine passed through Venezuela annually, fueling the American opioid crisis. U.S.-Venezuela ties date back to the 19th century, but tensions escalated in the 21st. The Monroe Doctrine of 1823 asserted U.S. dominance in the Western Hemisphere, a policy Trump revived as the Monroe Doctrine. Past U.S. actions, like supporting the 2002 coup attempt against Chavez, fueled anti-American sentiment. Under Trump 1.0, 2017 to 2021, sanctions crippled Venezuela's oil exports, reducing production from 2.5 million barrels per day to under 500,000. Biden eased some in 2023 for humanitarian reasons, but Trump 2.0 in 2025 reinstated and intensified them. Trump publicly stated interest in Venezuela's oil, saying in a 2025 speech, "They stole our oil fields. We're taking them back." By mid-2025, the U.S. labeled Maduro a narco-terrorist, indicting him in New York for drug conspiracy. This set the stage for military action. The path to January 3, 2026, began in August 2025 with a U.S. military buildup in the Southern Caribbean. Warships and personnel deployed under Operation Southern Spear, aimed at disrupting drug networks. In September, U.S. forces struck vessels allegedly trafficking drugs for Venezuela. November saw the USS Gerald R. Ford carrier strike group arrive, escalating tensions. December brought a naval quarantine, seizing Venezuelan oil tankers. Covert CIA operations targeted cartel leaders. An agreement with Trinidad and Tobago allowed U.S. access to airports for staging. Trump announced imminent strikes in late December, citing the drug threat and electoral fraud. preparations finalized, with rehearsals involving 150 aircraft. On January 2nd, at 11 p.m., Trump approved Operation Absolute Resolve. At 2:01 a.m. local time, the operation launched. 150 U.S. aircraft, F-22 Raptors, F-35s, B-1 Lancers, and more, struck northern Venezuela. Targets included La Carlota Air Base, Fort Tayuna, Higuerot Airport, and La Guaira Port. Explosions rocked Caracas, causing power outages. Delta Force, in CH-47 Chinooks and AH-64 Apaches, raided Maduro's residence. One helicopter was hit but pressed on. Maduro and First Lady Cilia Flores were captured by 4:29 a.m., flown to the USS Iwo Jima. Trump announced the capture on Truth Social at 4:21 a.m. Eastern Time, posting a photo an hour later. Maduro faced indictments for narco-terrorism, cocaine conspiracy, and weapons possession. The U.S. declared it would administer Venezuela until a transition, focusing on oil. Casualties: a handful of U.S. injuries. Venezuelan deaths unknown, but civilians hit in Cadia La March. Vice President Delcy Rodriguez declared emergency, demanding proof of life. Brazil's Lula condemned the strikes as aggression. International experts cited UN Charter violations. U.S. Republicans praised. Democrats criticized lack of Congress approval. Venezuela vowed resistance. Opposition welcomed change. The U.S. claimed self-defense against drug threats. Critics argued it breached sovereignty, akin to Iraq 2003. With Maduro gone, Venezuela faces uncertainty. U.S. oil involvement could stabilize or exploit. This operation signals a new era in hemispheric relations. The strikes may have ended one chapter, but the story of Venezuela is far from over.